I was first introduced to basketball by my father, Dave Scott, who was the head coach at Maine South High School in Park Ridge from 1989 to 2002. As a youngster, I was always in locker rooms and in practices and on the bench in games, filling up water, learning about all that went into varsity sports, specifically basketball, and all that the coach put into it too, in dealing with players and building relationships and all those things that matter so long after seasons are over. Man, I'd say no less than 2 or no more than 2. I mean, I was really young, being thrown in ball racks and at practices and, in my stroller and things like that with my mom and dad. I started at a very young age. I think my greatest accomplishment is the relationships that I have with the players who graduated from Hersey. Obviously as a player you can look at accolades and things and all-state or playing in college or winning conference championships or getting to a sectional championship and things like that, but those things are important but don't have a tremendous amount of meaning to me like the relationships I have with guys who have played for me or played for us. I think of my relationships with Rocco and Hanno from my first year, Kuba, Davis Belford, Jason Schmidt, Ethan Roberts, Andrew Wagner, Scott Rogowski, Ryan Goditis. I mean, all those guys, every single person that's played with me I am still in contact with and, are really important pieces to my life. And I'd do anything for those guys. And I get excited going to watch them play now and see how much they've been, improved in basketball, but have developed as men, I think is the most important accomplishment for me as a coach. Yeah, in terms of, setbacks, although I got the job at a relatively young age, I was 29 when I was hired at Hersey to be the head varsity coach, which is young, from, comparatively speaking. I had done my time. I had served as an assistant coach at 9 years for one of the best in the business and Coach Phil Lascala at Lake Forest. I had interviewed some other places and been close, and I had some interview experience that I kind of relied on in my interview here. And then, my message to myself in terms of going into interviews was to always go to a place that you can enrich people's lives academically and athletically, and in a community that you can see yourself being a fan of a lot of the other sports as well. And Hersey checked all those boxes for me. And now, 4 years after the fact, I find myself a huge Hersey football fan and all Coach Pardon has done for the program in so many ways, and a fan of so many other sports at Hersey, whether it be girls basketball or tennis or soccer or volleyball, where I'm like the announcer. I love being a fan of other Hersey programs as well. Like, it's not just basketball and then kind of shut off my brown and orange spirit the rest of the year. Like, I am a fully invested Hersey fan, and that's indicative of how I feel about this school and this community and the kids and people in it. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think my biggest mentor over the course of my basketball career as a player, like, I had a great friend who was a year ahead of me, who lived 4 or 5 houses down, that I looked up to, that was an all-state player. His name was Mike Colsey, and we were best friends. I was the best man in his wedding, he was the best man in my wedding, and we now have kids the same age together. But I think in going through it, like, he was somebody who always motivated me to do it, the way he was doing it, with the effort and energy and intensity that he was doing it. And then in terms of coaching, I've had a lot of coaching mentors. Paul Harris at Highland Park High School was the first person to hire me out of college. My time with Coach Lascala at Lake Forest was instrumental in developing who I am and how I approach the game today. But then, also I look at my dad and the way that he shaped me, and my mom also shaped me in a lot of ways as a leader. She was a former high school principal, so I've got a lot of kind of experiential knowledge with education and how to lead young adults, and then blending that with the basketball acumen that you gain over the course of time has kind of molded my philosophy as a coach today. Yeah, I love being a role model for kids. That's something I take great pride in. And what I love most about Hersey every day are the kids. Like, practice is the best part of my day in dealing with those guys who I'm close with, who we have a connection over a sport with, and can have a ton of conversations outside of the realm of basketball too. But I have fun in the classroom as well. Like, I think you would know as a former student of mine, like, I love getting to know kids. I think kids have so much energy. Like, any teacher who's not enjoying themselves in the academic school environment is doing a disservice to their profession of being a teacher. It's such an energetic and energizing career field, and it's a place where I can really enjoy coming to school every day, and regardless of all that's happening, in our season or at home or whatever the case is, like, kids don't care, man. They just want to have fun. Like, they just want to have fun and enjoy their time in the building that they're spending 6 hours a day in. So that's something and an opportunity that I really look forward to every day.
Guy in the best. All right, smart.
Here we go. It all comes down to this.
3. Yep.
Here goes Hop. And